Hi everyone, my name is Logan Wachowski, and this is my language and cultural contact presentation number 3 for Spanish 118. So for this past month, a few of the things that I did for this project was I listened to Carla Morrison, which is a Spanish artist, and then I also watched the Netflix series Elite, and I watched Disney's Coco in Spanish. So Elite is a Netflix series. It's based in Spain. It's about these high schoolers. Their school burns down, and then they have to go to the rich kids' school. And then it has a lot going on about kind of the different class divisions between the schoolers. And then obviously there's, as you can see from probably the picture in there, um, it alludes to a lot of like death and murder, and so it's kind of like a murder mystery kind of thing. So some of the words that I picked up from that series were colegio, which means high school, asesinato, which means murder, inspectora, which means inspector, marquesita, which is little heiress. It is a nickname that they were giving one of the students. Gritando, which means screaming. And so some of the cultural nuances that I noticed throughout the series was the pronunciation of the S sound in a lot of words in Spain. In some other cultures as well, they use the th sound. So like cerveza, Barcelona, and any words that kind of have that S sound often convert to the TH. Another thing that I noticed is that there are a lot of class divisions and a lot of prejudice between the different classes that exist in the film. So like the rich kids are prejudiced against the poor, and the poor are prejudiced against the rich. That's where that Marquesita kind of comes from. Is she's the heir of her family's estate, and so they kind of make fun of her by calling her Marquesita. So another thing I did this past month was I listened to Carla Morrison. Uh, so some of the vocabulary that I picked up there was disfruto, which means I enjoy, acariciar, which means to caress, esperar, which means to wait, dibujar, to draw, and alma, which means soul. So some of the cultural nuances that I picked up from her music was that a lot of the songs that she writes relate to love or longing for someone, and that's something that I find in a lot of the music I listen to. A lot of it's about love and heavily influenced by people that people long for, such as family or loved ones. Um, Disfruto is actually the title of one of her songs. The other one that I was listening to a lot this month was Tu Eres. Both of those are really good about longing for people. Lastly, I watched Disney's Coco, and I watched it all in Spanish. So some of the vocabulary that I picked up was ofrenda, which means shrine, zapateria, which means shoe store, pobrecito, poor thing, alegrías, which is Mexican spirit animals, and then calaveras, which means skulls. Some of the cultural nuances that I observed throughout the film were obviously the Dia de los Muertos. That's kind of what the whole movie is about. Um, the kid goes back to the land of the dead to find his father and to try to talk to him and bond with him because he looks up to him a lot. So some of the things about like Dia de los Muertos is people have their ofrendas or shrines, and they put pictures of their family members to remember them because a lot of cultures believe that you need to remember the dead or else they'll just stop existing. And then another big thing in Latin and other Spanish cultures is family. Um, Family is really important, and there's a lot of scenes in the film where the son wants to go and do something by himself, or he wants to go make music, and the family's really encouraging him to kind of come together and keep with the family traditions of making shoes and just kind of being together for these holidays and things like that. So that's it for this month's Language and Cultural Contact presentation. Thank you so much for listening.